Good afternoon and welcome to the Vibrantly Healthy Mom Show. Today we're going to be talking about how you can benefit from those unexpected things that disrupt your life. You know what I'm talking about, right? My name is Laura Bostrom and I'm so glad that you have joined me here today, whether you're listening live or to the recording. It's great to have you. I would love to have you comment below and let me know where you're tuning in from. Say hello. I'd like to hear from you. So today we're going to talk about, like I said, how you can benefit from those unexpected things that come along that like totally disrupt your life. I had one of those things happen this weekend, and it's really taken a little bit of a mental shift for me to deal with it. So here's what happened. Saturday night, I needed to run out to the garage to get another box of butter from the refrigerator. Just a really simple little task, right? I'm focusing on walking down the 3 steps that go outside of our garage door, and I wasn't paying any attention to what was ahead in my path between me and the refrigerator. But what had happened is there were a stack of boxes that had been placed since the last time I was in the garage, apparently up against some items on the side. And in the meantime, they had slid down and they were right in my path, and my foot stepped right on top of one of them, which then caused all of the boxes to slide, and yes, it took me with them. So I went down, and I went down hard and in a very crumpled kind of a way, and many of my body parts hit several different objects in the garage, and I immediately was in a lot of pain, and I'm surprised none of the neighbors called the police thinking I was being murdered in the garage because I made a lot of noise. I was in shock. It was awful. And as a result, I have some ribs that are either broken, we haven't determined that yet, or are very badly bruised, and I really messed up my neck. So anyway, this was not what I had planned. I was in the middle of making dinner with my husband, and this was not what was to be expected. So things like this happen to us all of the time, right? I mean, not like all of the time, but they can happen unexpectedly. Obviously, you can't prepare for these kinds of things. So they can be disruptive, but how can we actually benefit from them? There is a way, and I want to walk you through that today. So number one, the first thing would be is to embrace whatever it is. And I don't mean to make that your new identity. I don't mean that it's something that you love, but rather than fighting it, and like just struggling and complaining and all of those things about it, instead embrace it and recognize that this is what's been put on my plate now, and how am I going to deal with it, and just move on with that. And take the attitude that there are things that you can do to help to navigate the situation, and that's what you need to do. And if you just create yourself, put yourself in a situation where you're like suddenly this victim in a situation, and this is happening to me, and why is this happening to me, then it's going to be hard to navigate that path of figuring out what the best thing is to do. So embrace that rather than fighting it. And the second thing would be find what there is in it that you can actually be thankful for. You know, what was there for me to be thankful for in this situation of crashing down on the garage floor? Not a whole lot. But I am very thankful that I didn't break my neck. I'm thankful that I didn't like fall on a sharp object that stabbed me. It could have been a whole lot worse. And I'm thankful for, you know, the fact that I'm sitting here today. I can still be up and doing things. Am I in pain still? Yes, absolutely. It hurts a lot. But I have so much to be thankful for. So in a situation where you find yourself in where something's happen that isn't what you expected, look for the little things that there are to be thankful for in it, because it can be very uplifting and encouraging in the midst of it all. The third thing would be slow down and contemplate the whole situation. Evaluate what's going on, what you need to do to figure out the best approach to take to handle this disruption that's in your life. So the only way you're going to be able to do that is to just stop and focus on it and think through very carefully what your plan of attack will be, how you will address the situation. And so for me, I needed to realize, you know, hey, I got to listen to my body. I'm in pain. I need to get up off this floor somehow, which my husband thankfully was home and was able to help me. And then I got myself to a chair. My son got me some ice to put on the area. And so it was just slowing down and taking care of the situation and figuring out what the next step was going to be. So make sure that you do slow down as you have those unexpected things come, and figure out what your plan of attack is going to be to handle it. And the fourth thing, and this is really important in my opinion, is to take it as an opportunity when things like this come along, as an opportunity to learn new things. I can tell you from my own experience of dealing with some different chronic health issues over the years, that it's those times, those disruptions in my life that have led me to learn a lot of the things that serve me well to this day. So it's because I went through the chronic illnesses that I did in the past that I even realized that I was chronically dehydrated, for example, and needed to drink more water. And so I'm very in tune to that today. I realized the ill effects that like eating sugar has on my body, or not getting enough sleep, and how important it is to make sure that I get that 7 to 8 hours. So it's because I had the disruption of chronic illnesses in my life over the years that led me to learn what it was that I needed to do to take better care of myself. So take the opportunity in your, whatever your situation is, whatever that disruption is that comes along in your life, to see what you can learn from it. And then that leads to the next thing, is allowing yourself to actually grow from the disruption, grow from the negative experience that you're having in your life. So make sure that you're not just letting the things happen to you without taking the opportunity to actually grow, and your future self will definitely thank yourself for doing that. And the last thing is, find the joy that you need to in the midst of it all. Joy is such an important aspect of a person's life in everything. And if you don't have joy in your life, in these disruptive kind of situations, like I found myself in this weekend, can totally rob us of that kind of joy. And it affects everything in our life, and it affects other people in our life, not just ourselves. So follow these simple little steps and do these things, and I think that you will find as well that you can benefit greatly from those unexpected things that come in your life that maybe seem super negative and like, what am I going to do now? Rather than having that woe is me kind of an attitude, I encourage you to apply these principles and see just what a difference it can make in your life as well. So hello, Catherine. It is so nice to see you here today. And thank you. Thank you very much for cheering me on. So that is it for today, and I encourage you, next time that you find yourself in a situation like I did this last weekend, I would encourage you to right away start to look at it in a different way than maybe you have in the past. Like, okay, this is what's on my plate now. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to learn? How am I going to grow? What do I have to be thankful for? What is it that I can do to not fight this, but to embrace this, to help take me to the next level and find joy in it for sure? So that is it for today, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everyone.